Hi, Marilyn. You guys are quick. Hey, Robin. Hello and welcome to another episode of Technique Talk. Hello, hello. As you're popping on, say howdy. Janice, Lois, hello. How's everybody doing? It's cold out tonight, isn't it? Whew, it's cooling off. It's going to be this cold. I'd like some snow. Hey, Maureen. How are you? No snow? No snow for Marilyn, snow for Mary, none for Robin. We've got a mixed group. So today we are going to talk about another quick background. If you've got some last minute cards to make. Let's see, today's the 13th, so we are in 12 days of Christmas, 12 days till Christmas. So you have a couple of days to do some making. This is good for cards. It's also good for home decor to do some backgrounds on some of the pieces that you can use the wood boxes. So that's what we're going to talk about. I've got a couple of samples here and I will show you what I did. So we are using embossing powder as a resist and distress sprays because those are just quick and easy to do a background with. It's just quicker than even doing ink blending, although you could do this. Hey, Gabrielle. You can do this technique with ink blending also. So what I did was, and these are the same stamp, this is done with superfine white embossing powder, and I know we've got a couple of different ones in the store. Hero Arts makes one, Wow makes one. We may even have some of the Tailored Expressions ones, so it's a fine embossing powder. This one, on this side, is done with just a regular clear embossing powder, so it's a little bit more chunky, and I wasn't very careful with my stamping, and I did that on purpose because I wanted to see if I could get a distressed look. So that is what this is. I still have a little embossing powder on my mat here. So all right, so this is like super fine white here, and this is regular clear here. This is another, these are the Tim Holtz plaids, these perfect plaid stamps, which are super fun. This is with the fine white embossing powder also, and this color is the lumberjack plaid, this red here. And then this is the speckled egg. I really like this one. I like the distressed way that it came out, and I think that if I did some vintage photo around the edges, it would be a really fun vintagey look on this one. Now this one was done with the clear embossing powder, but what I did was I took this tiny text stamp and I left it on exactly like this. I just inked it up with embossing powder and stamped the card base, so you can see this was the embossing powder was a little too chunky for the small words. You can still kind of see what they say, but I would probably use a more fine embossing powder if I were going to do this again. This is clear, all right, and then this is Rustic Wilderness on this. So I am going to show you, I've got some already embossed here. This one is embossed with the fine white, and this one is embossed with the clear, using this stamp set just randomly to create a background. So I am going to spray these and show you how super easy it is. And I am going to get my splat box. That's all ready here. And I am going to show you, let's see, we did the green with the clear, or I did earlier. So I'm going to do this in the lumberjack plaid. All right, so I always give a couple of quick spritz of water. And then we are going to spray it with the lumberjack, and then I'm going to put some more water on there to get the color to blend a little bit better, and then I usually just pick it up and let it run. Now on this one I'm going to flip it over and kind of press it to the paper towel because that is what gets it off of the writing. All right, if you don't wait long enough for the color to seep in a little, sometimes you might wipe too much and wipe some off. So we'll give that another spray. We'll let that sit for a second. Just to let the ink soak into the paper a little bit. Give it a little blast with my heat gun. And then if you just dab the letters, you're going to take that ink right off of where you embossed because it is acting as a resist while you keep your color in the background. Now you could also do water splattering or all those other splattering techniques that I showed before. You could do that on here also, and you would get that really fun distress look. I can actually show you that. That's for the next color. But if you just take your water, give it a little zap. Dab it with my towel, and you can see in the background where you get that splattery water look that we always love. All right, so again, this is with the regular clear embossing powder, which, like I had mentioned earlier, probably isn't as fine as it should be if you want to read the words clearly. I don't mind them being a little blurry because it's just a background. All right. Now this one I did with, like I said, the white. So that is the fine embossing powder. And I am going to do this one with, let's see, how about, let's do cracked pistachio. All right, so we'll give it a couple of spritzes of water. All right, we'll give that spray. Now you can see how it kind of bubbles up on the embossed words because it's a resist. So we will just do some dabbing here. Give it a little blast with our heat tool, and then we can wipe those letters off again. I don't want to wipe off all the color. Anybody have any questions? This is really super fast and easy, isn't it? Now you could spray again if you wanted to have a more vibrant color. Mary's asking if the ink dried on the letters, could you still wipe it off? Yes, you sure could. You can, because it's embossed and it is a resist, so the ink will wipe right off. Marilyn saying it looks easy. It is easy, Marilyn. The hardest part is doing the stamping and the embossing. And that really isn't that hard. I know we all do that, right? So there you go. There is... I really like using that stamp for a background like that. But isn't... This one's my favorite, I think. I love this plaid, and I love how you can... I didn't stamp it very hard, so I kind of left some of the embossing ink off. But I just love how nice and worn that looks. But aren't those some lovely... If you want it to stay, Mary, you don't want to do a resist with embossing powder because the ink will just wipe off of the embossing powder. She's asking if you want it to stay, you have to do a different technique. You'll have to stamp it in the color that you want it in, which you can certainly do. All right. Any other questions? No? All right then. Well, what I will say is thank you so very much for joining me tonight. Make sure you join us Saturday for Scrappy Chat at 9:30. We are going to be talking about the Gnome of the Month Club. We will have a new Michigan Inspiration Project, and we will be showing all of the new products that have arrived at the store in the last 2 weeks. We'll probably also talk about our January birthday bash event. And I think that's it. So, have a great night. Stay warm. And I'm sure we will be seeing you very soon. Thanks, everybody.